Welcome back into the Sports Source, the segment of our program brought to you by Southeast Termite and Pest Control. You see the website right there. These are the exterminators I use for my home. They do a great job. They're always on time. It's always a fair price, always a job well done. And they support shows like the one you're seeing today. I hope you'll support this family-owned business. They've been around for 40-plus years, Southeast Termite and Pest Control. Back with Chuck Cavaleris, Bob Hodge, and UT Athletic Director and Vice Chancellor. And the
I did not know that was the title until like 3 days after I took the job.
It's a long title. We're going to ask a couple more fan perspective type questions. Chuck, I'll let you start.
Well, I mean, I think a lot of people, know and say that football drives the bus. And when I look at the SEC schedules and the division titles, to me, there seems to be an inequity there the way it's decided. Like this year, Kentucky plays both Mississippi schools. Tennessee gets Alabama and LSU. Would you be in favor of either a 9-game SEC schedule or just division games count towards that division title?
So I think there's a lot of ways to look at those things, and certainly our historical position with our schedule creates a challenge. And that's one of the challenging things about this year is the schedule is enormously difficult, and you add on the fact that we have 2 road games in our first 13 days of competition. That makes it a real challenge. I know that we'll continue to talk about these things at the conference level, and there's been a number of different ideas, whether it's going to 9 games, which I like some aspects of that. Or going to a different kind of rotational model or whatever. We have to keep in mind that this thing is more competitive than it's ever been. Qualifying one of our teams for the college football playoff is part of that equation. But I also believe we need to be very careful to respect our fans and remember that the value associated with some of those television dollars and stuff like that is based upon compelling matchups. And so that'll be part of the equation as well.
All right, got about 2 minutes here for this question and answer. Bob, I know this is near and dear to your heart.
Yes, it is. Real simple. How does Tennessee justify that if I'm in a luxury box, I get to drink my little butt off the entire game? If I'm down in XX1 and I get caught pouring a little something into my Coke, not that I would ever do it, Chuck never sits with me, so I get escorted out of the stadium. To me, that is kind of a fairness issue that I've always had a problem with. If I'm up here, I'm good. If I'm down here, I'm on the streets. Just how do you justify that?
Well, it's a complex issue, and I'm not the one that made that original rule, right? And so there's 2 things happening right now. One is we have a specific item in the Hill Topics, which is a student handbook at the University of Tennessee that was added in 1987 or somewhere along those lines, and that creates some challenges, not just for athletic events, but all kinds of events on our campus, and creates a bit of ambiguity, if you will. And one of the things Chancellor Davenport has done is create a task force to re-examine our alcohol policy in 2017 to figure out if what we have on the books is appropriate and enforceable and all that kind of stuff. So I think that's an active process that Chancellor Davenport is leading. And then the Southeastern Conference has looked at the current conference rule, which does illustrate some of the inequities you're talking about in the current conference rule. Incidentally, that current conference rule, I believe, was just adopted as a rule. It was never really, vetted. But of course, those things become very controversial, and then you think about some of the other elements from a society standpoint. People have really strong opinions one way or another, and maybe perceptions. And then you've also seen around the country where alcohol sales have been added. There has been some evidence that it increases safety and security rather than detract from safety and security. But we always need to be very careful to ensure that the environment we provide in our stadiums is family friendly, is one of respect and welcome. We want to be loud and intimidating for the visitors on the field, but we also want to treat people with dignity.
Unlike Florida.
And I want to go on record, I've never seen anybody actually do that.
Yeah, never heard. I've had a couple, I've walked out of there with a back full of down the shirt and everything before. All right, Chuck, Bob, thank you very much. When we come back, 3 new panelists roll out here. Now it gets into the debate game show form where it's literally question, 1 minute to answer. Question, 1 minute to answer. A lot more to cover with John Curry coming back.